Hey there everybody, welcome to my 360 video presentation. We're going to be talking about Frame.io, the pros, the cons. I'm going to try to give you about 3 of each. I'm going to talk about what I liked, what I didn't like. But anyway, I'm coming at you all the way from Hawaii, so let's get right into it, alright? So, as for the first Frame.io Pro, what I really liked was its integration with Premiere. It was really easy to take anything that I made on Premiere, the timeline, and put it instantly into Frame.io. I personally, though, I compiled it all into a folder first before uploading it. But the fact that that is, a feature that is able to be used, like that's supported by Adobe, is a really big pro. It's a really big plus for, especially if we're on a design team, which sometimes it feels like, it would just be seamless, which is great. So you're on a banana tree. I hope you can notice. But the second pro that I have that I really experienced during Frame.io was the feedback process. Unfortunately, I was a little late due to some personal issues on top of my assignments, but the ability to provide feedback via timecode, and it really supports that process, that pipeline process that's so important for design teams, I think is a huge plus for people who want to use this in a team aspect. I mean, just us alone as a team in our school projects, we're able to provide very precise feedback on top of our 360 videos. I didn't get any because, I was late, but I noticed there was more specific things compared to I've been in other classes where they don't really put time codes, so you're kind of like, oh, I like this shot with the tree, but there's 3 shots with the tree, but you could be really specific on where that shading or that color grading that you used was really good, or the effect that you used is really good. And I think that's really a powerful part of Frame.io is the feedback process. Let's keep walking though. So, welcome back. I wanted to talk about another pro that I had with Frame.io. The biggest pro for me was its portability. So there's a desktop app, a web app, and a mobile app for Frame.io, and it all works really well together. Frame.io on Edge was really good. It worked really, really well. I was able to review all of my stuff because I'm a full-time worker, so I'm always on the go. So being able to use it in my office and stuff where I work worked really great because sometimes things I've used in web apps like Canva or Adobe Spark, and they don't work that well, but this as a file management software, it worked really well, and I was able to leave comments and stuff. There was nothing different from me using it on my app or at home. So, I had a lot of a hard time using Frame.io in order to integrate perfectly with the software. I don't know if any of you experienced technical difficulties, but on my M1 Mac, it was just really chugging down my Premiere, which kind of really sucks when your performance helps export videos faster. It helps present the timeline better, but it just wasn't. It was throttling my Premiere. So once I closed the plugin, it worked instantly better. So there's your number 2 con. There's some technical difficulties that can be ironed out that affect the performance of your Premiere software. So, as for another pro that I experienced while using Frame.io was just its ability to export, import, and organize files in a really nice manner. When it came to stuff that you might not think has a very high production value. So Frame.io can be built for a lot of larger teams, large productions, very expensive stuff, very large file sizes. But I think that Frame.io definitely still has a place in the ecosystem of influencing. And the reason I say that is because the 360 cameras are such good volume cameras, but when I'm working with my friends to try to produce these vlogs, to content create, I think Frame.io has a place for that. Frame.io, a really powerful tool that I think a lot of designers could use in order to really up their workflow game, to smooth it out. Like I said, the integrations, the smoothness of it, it's very well polished. Adobe bought it and integrated it for a reason. I think that there are some limitations with it that can be factored in, like the large teams thing that I read, and also just technical difficulties that, you know, you have to deal with any software. So I think it's a very net positive that it's with me. But anyway, have a great rest of your day, and then thank you for watching.